So, dears, what we have done so far, when I started to recap again, we started from the design thinking process. You know, our five steps. Within these 5 steps, the last 3 days, we finished empathy, define, and idea generation based on the value proposition side. Today, I would like to just upgrade the model for individual purposes, individual versions of the model. So now I am sharing one document from the chat. Also, I'm not sure that you able to download that sharing document, what I already shared with you. I try to share it as a file, but if you couldn't download it, please click to that link. The same Word documents will be appear in your site too. This is the value list of the human mankind. Based on the Oxford Dictionary, when we check that, almost 130 subjectives which affects our verbs in our daily life, which means that one people will be influenced or get convinced from these values for his or her entire life. There's a 130 of them. What I highly recommend for when you return back to become alone after this session, this exercise nearly takes half an hour. What I highly recommend, dears, please choose the first 12 of your value. For instance, empathy, maybe optimism, passion, excitement. So we are choosing 12 of them from the entire list. What makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Dears, these 12 of the value from that value list, which gives you more importance, the priority levels, the higher than the others. At least all of them inside you, because you are a human also, and the dictionary describe all these regarding to the human's value set. But just I would like to ask first 12, which means your personal values. Why these personal values are important? All of your life ruled because of these values. If you are getting some decisions in some topics, please be sure that that decision mostly affected because of your that value. In the second step, after half an hour later, we are looking for our core values. What I highly recommend, after these 12, we are choosing 6 of them. So empathy will be my first 3, and then passion will be my other, flexibility, it makes 3, truth, always, development, always, and success. Dears, these 12 value which affect your life, but this 6 value, the last 6 value is rule your life. And these are the core values. So they are very important while we are designing our life. Without their uh, without their alignment within the project, what we are going to do, that project couldn't be survive as you add your value to that project. At the end, the last thing I'm going to ask you, if we are in the real class environment, dears, please describe the first 3 of them, the first value, second value, and the third value in your life. So this is an example. The first value in my life is the empathy will be the first, passion will be the second, and flexibility will be the third. So these 3 is more than ruling your life. Actually, they are completely affect and all your planets turning around these three values. If you have trouble with others, most probably three of your value get into place. Or if you are very familiar, very good friendship another person, please be sure that three of your value will be in the place. So what I highly recommend for the design thinking wise, after you fill this value list, 12 personal values, 6 core values, and the first three values after your decision, please do the same exercise with your most closest friends and with your family members. And if it is possible, please ask a favor one of your friend or no person which your relativity is not very good, and please find that the values in the other side. What you will going to see at the end of the day, dears, these are the core values that it is like a ice ice break on the sea. So these are one, two, three. The first prioritized values, the most common values of us, can be give an aspect of what is the other side of the engine. So within this iceberg, the sceneable place, you may identify my other values, my other perceptions on life. So if you have a problem within your family members or within your friends, again on the other side, if you have very good relatives, very good relations with people, most probably your first, second, and third, if they are completely defined and the same with the other side or the relatives, maybe you assigned as a fun one side, he assigned as a happiness. So fun and happiness could be understand each other. So if they're your core values almost similar with the other side, you will have very good relations, bondless, very good concrete relationships. If you have some troubles within each other, most probably you will get in the conflict. Normally, in the real life examples during the class, after you select your values and the core values, we are doing one exercise to understand that how it goes with the people each other. So you are filling your first three, the other side is filling those three, and I give 5 minutes. Please again return back to the other side and describe what is your core values and what core values makes what kind of things you are facing during your life, what kind of is burden you, what kind of things make you very happy, and there's a experience sharing methodology. Once upon a time, inside my MBA class, one lady, which hairs are purple and her back has lots of characters, the writings on top of them, and she is wearing lots of, and she has a tattoo on her neck. It's a unusual student in my class, okay? But she is very friendly person. I like her style, and for this exercise, on the other side, one very chic lady, chic or very pretty lady, I could say, who always wears pink and the blonde hairs, always the coiffure. She is going to coiffure for the hair making, and always she wears a very hard makeup, a Hermes bag. What I saw, she came to school by chauffeur. So driver led her every day to school and pick her up from the school. And what I understand, she is one of the daughter of famous person from the very conservative place of the Turkey. So she is little bit religious person. While two ladies in the exercising their core values. Look, this is a demo. This is not a real. But what I heard, two of them started to arguing with each other. Actually, my purple hair student just expressed her values like I like to be free. The freedom is my core value. So flexibility and open-minded is my core value. These kind of things I don't understand. And she given an example. And my family, they refused me because of my freedom needs. I started to live with my boyfriend, so they don't accept that situation. Before marriage, you couldn't live together. What her families mentioned. Then she left their apartment. She started to live alone with her boyfriend. Then they broke up, but the family still refused her. This is the story. She told the other side how the values are affected because of her values. Her family values are completely different than her values. Then the other blonde hair girl, which is comes to her father's car with a chauffeur every day, she say, "Yes, your family is right. What are you doing? It's not acceptable. Why you live with your boyfriend without marriage?" I couldn't believe my eyes on their front of the image. Two ladies or the man, it doesn't differ. Because of the example, they started to argue each other. Dears, your first three values never ever negotiable. You couldn't accept anything against them. They are your mother love of they are your institution, the first three rules of your life. So if something come to them, which they will hit the wall, or if there is a acceptance, they can enter very easily to your core value. So be ensured that if anything you are going to do, you are planning to do, or even you want to improve, or for GCO you want to change something, if it is not in your three of the core values, most probably that business will not be give you joy, or you don't want to be continued. So please first find things or implement things within your way. So we say authentic leadership to that one. And if you have some troubles with others, please check your core values differences. So that is the one example why we are started to enter our design thinking process, individual design thinking process. In the upcoming today and tomorrow, the next session, I'm going to show you how you can implement your style to do your in future plans. Okay, this is the first for value setting. Then I would like to also share that what motivates us. If you like that session, tomorrow or the next week, I guess, we are delivering one session next week, if I'm not misremember. Yes, next week, Wednesday, 15th of April, I'm going to have a completely separate session for motivation, but this is inside the design thinking process. Just today, I would like to give some brief information regarding what is motivation and what motivates us, how to get other people motivated. So we call that era motivation 3.0. When I come into the what is motivation one, actually it's the life itself years, the motivation one. Today we are experiencing the motivation 1.0 to live. Why? The pandemic is covers all around the globe. That is also hitting our life motivation. That is the reason we are voluntarily quarantined ourselves. We look to social distance to everybody. At the end, 1 or 0. If you count COVID-19, we are afraid of sharing that COVID-19 virus who is in the risky situations. And the motivation 2.0 is based on the prize and the penalty sections. So before the pandemic, you even couldn't understand the motivation 1.0 things. Like, for instance, if you are a Syrian refugee now, the eating something will be the biggest motivation while you are crossing the borders. They are also human. They are also doctor, engineer, and lots of different varieties. And the only motivation is safely sleep, eat some good food. Good food means not the fresh one. Eat something to find some eat food and drink potable water that without any bacteria. In our daily life, normally we are not feeling any experience for the motivation 1.2. Every day we are getting three times a meal, no water issues. All the time we have tea, coffee, and good. But what we have a problem for the price and the penalty in the industrial evolution one, they found that the price and the penalty motivation. So in our world, after the 2000, the scientists found that there is a two different motivation type. One is the extrinsic motivation, the other one is the intrinsic motivation. And Daniel Pink, in his dry book, expressed that terminology with the motivation X for extrinsic and motivation 1 for intrinsic motivation. I would like to give a little information on how it comes. In 2007, Roman Rockwitz published a paper in MIT, The Motivational Design. Then Daniel Pink wrote that book, dry book, How to Motivate, How to Get Motivated. It's a very famous book, bestseller one. And I highly recommend to please watch his TED movie. What he mentioned in his book, tip 1, which means the intrinsic motivation, the motivation comes from the inside, gives three of the sections, has three pillars. The first pillar is autonomy. Being autonomous, being freedom, makes our first intrinsic motivational pillar, being a free. What does it mean? Autonomy and the complete freedom is a little bit different. I could give the United States as an example. Inside the United States, as you know, there's lots of states. Even state to state, the rules are sometimes different. Even taxes are different. But on the top roof, United States is a one country. So all of the states has autonomy inside their region to rule their daily life policies. But on the top, for a globally, they are respectful to Washington, D.C. So that is autonomy, means that not complete freedom. Like inside the Pfizer, all of us, we have some autonomy. What does it mean? We have access right to give decisions regarding our subject. We can rule our budgets. And even though we can decide which projects we are going to do and what kind of the skill set we knew, how to do, what to do. But if Hande Espinosa says that, okay, dears, all of you is GCO employee, you are all free, do whatever you want. Most probably we will demotivated from that situation. I don't know what to do, how to do, where to do. Do I work in the SMS or the meetings and events, or is there a meetings and events section? Why? All of us free. So some freedom under autonomy makes us motivated. The second thing is mastery. We would like to deep into the details here. We want to express our knowledge, skill set, and being a master in our position. So when we first started after the university as a specialist maybe, or assistant specialist. 6-7 months later, 1 year later, we become a specialist. Then assistant executive, assistant manager, senior manager. There is some layers. So that is the reason we like to be master in our topic. That is the reason if you want to do a master of business administration, actually that is the same thing from the mastery side. And the last thing is the purpose. If there is no purpose in our world, we couldn't get motivated from that point of view. So there's a purpose here in Pfizer. That is the reason we change all of our motto, the breakthrough challenges, breakthrough products, which increase the human life. That is the reason we use that kind of things to express our purpose. We are not only producing products. Actually, we are aiming to get old as a purpose. If three of things not in the place, most probably your customers, your business units, yourself couldn't be get motivated for that project. So while you are thinking to do something better and motivated, you have to be ensured that are we touching three of them for the customer side, for the business side, and for our side. When I continue to upcoming, then this dry book is published. Gabe Zigerman published another paper, and the first time we heard the gamification word. The simply, if I would like to explain, gamification is not a game what your kids play. So gamification is a techniques that the games are using on the world. So we are very motivated to play them. We are using the same kind of techniques in our motivation rules. I'm coming. And finally, Dr. Michael Wu in 2015 published the last paper, Behavioral Engineering. As you know, behavior is a soft skill issue. So it's not a real engineering science. Behavioral is understanding the others. So it's like an intellectual science, I could say this. It's a social science. But the engineering and the behavior word, when they come together, which means that, as you know, that the United States elected president elections, after that, there is a huge discussions over the internet for the Analytica company from Facebook shared the users' data with the analysis, and the people found that who is supporting whom. Today, with your 7 likes, not 6, not 8, with 7 likes, the computers, big data, and artificial intelligence could describe you better than your friends. The only 15 likes is enough to describe you better than your best friend. So with the help of the engineering, big data, and the machine learning engineering, now we saw that how people behaviorally act and execute their process from their data over the internet. At 16, Andrei Marchevsky said that autonomy, mastery, and purpose today is not enough, dears. We have to add something more. These 3 from the dry book, we have to put something called relatedness. If everything could be give you a free spirit to autonomy, maybe you will be put your mastery and your purpose is on the place. But if they aren't relative with you, you don't motivate from that situation. For instance, today we are launching very good apps from the Pfizer side. What we say, please freely use your LinkedIn Learning. You received an email for the GCO colleagues, thanks to Hande and our training department manager Elif and Seda. Now LinkedIn Learning is free, right? Autonomy free. We don't need to pay. Free to, they unlocked everything. So okay, mastery, yes. If you go to the LinkedIn Learning, it is perfect, very nice. The mastery level, it gives you motivate. And what is the purpose during pandemic? Please improve yourself, develop yourself. Also, there's a purpose, very good, nice. So I am highly motivated from that initiative, right? Also, you, LinkedIn Learning, very good option. But think that all of us speaks English and understand English. If you are a customer-facing colleague whom couldn't speak English, that is the best initiative from the Pfizer side, almost $100 per each. Investment there means nothing. So the relatedness has to be as a roof. If we couldn't touch to that, if we couldn't serve the Turkish version or the Polish version, Russian version, we couldn't wait that, we couldn't understand that why these people not motivated from that subject, why that's not related with him, with her. So if you are try to motivate your customer, your business unit, please be sure that your idea related with their business. So if you started to mention about, okay, let's create an incentive mechanism that increase our 10% sales, but if it needs to be paid something to the doctors in Turkey, it is not related with the business, so it's completely die. We have to check relatedness at the end. What Jane McGonigal says, the opposite of play is not working, it is depression. I highly agree, 100%. I would like to sign that as a contract. The opposite of play is not working. So play and the word is hate. No, it is depression. If it is a good to work like a play, so how we can implement these play things inside our working life? What we say, game as old as history. This is the first game, as a multinational one, plays with the bones from the animals. In the middle is dice from Persian Empire, which we highly know from the backgammon games. And the last thing is nowadays dice from PlayStation control console. So we are just changing the playing game of the methods. Gambling is old as human history. Gambling. So it is not a new thing, the casinos. In the Egyptian period or before the Egyptians, there is still as a game we are playing game. Who remembers the left side, dears? Who remembers that lovely game on Facebook? Yes, this is Farmville. There's a virtual potatoes, tomatoes, our vegetables at 3 a.m. in the morning. If you couldn't collect your tomato from the field, they are going to trash. That is the reason we are setting our alarms on, waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning, harvesting our territory, and putting new vegetables after that. Why? Because it's a game. Something is highly connected. Have you ever seen yourself working for Pfizer, even you are paid for, waking up every night for 3 a.m. for a couple months to send an email? We don't remember. So this game is also zero cost, no pay to us. Just we are collecting some virtual economy things, but we successfully try to pass the levels like the 30th. It's around 10 years old now, Farmville. Who remembers the right side? This is the four square. You are collecting points if you checked in. Today, it's a personal data, value data. So if let's leave the check-in in some places, we don't want to share our location data with others. But at that time, we are crazily checked in all restaurants, in all schools, hospitals, everywhere. The logic behind is you become a mayor of that location, and that location, when you become a mayor, you have some privileges. Hey, I'm a mayor of that Pfizer building. Actually, they all collected with zero cost all around the world, restaurant data, hospital data, all of the point of interest from us. But the gamification is not alone. Here is the one good example from Belgium, if I'm not misremember. Here is the elevator. Here is the stairs, and you may see that there is the piano. And while you are going up, one song depends on your footsteps. one song is played because of the piano keys. So you are pressing the stairs as like a keys of the piano, and while you are going up, it sounds. Why metro operating company makes this one? What is the reason? For healthy life? To fight with obese people? Hmm? None of us dares. Actually, doctors are put into the half. We can cut into their half. Half of them says that please don't stairs up. It is very harmful for your knee. It's not a good thing for human nature. Don't use your stairs. It's not healthy. Half of them say some healthy. But at the end, if you have some heart problems or the breath problems, stairs up is not a good thing. Also, if you're heavy, it's not good for your knee. There's the metro systems using that kind of methodology to avoid these stairs, electricity, maintenance, and the capacity problems. Why? When 200 people are started to wait on the line in stairs, it takes approximately 5 minutes of working, and these of the things are tolling like 100 people to the up, which is around 10 tons, up to 10 tons of the people weight they are trying to carry to the up of the stairs. They consume a huge amount of the electricity, and their maintenance fee are very costly, and actually 200 people are waiting in this line takes too much time to the up. So they are gamify that this process. In Turkey, I found and took that picture. Maybe you found in different place. If you have a fitness before, I would like to ask that within one stair, can we make a 1 calorie burn, 4 calorie burned, 5 calories, 6, 7, 8, 9? Is it possible? 15 calories, 20 calories. But what I have experienced, I stayed that stairs up there. At the end, there is a 50 calorie burnt sign, which is not true, but they gamified the stairsing up process for me. I even use the stairs instead of the elevator. So these kind of things are some gamify of the municipality. Good example from Holland. There is a one school place here. Here is the school place. Normally, inside the school zones, the kilometer level is 30. But what this lotto, the casino says that, hey, if you slow down a little bit more, if you slow down 20, we will take your plate photograph and you will enter to the lottery. If your car plate is choosing the lottery, we will give you 5,000 euro coins for our lottery play, for our casino play. So they are gamifying it, even going more slower than the rules. One good example from our German friends, they made an investigation that all traffic accidents with unfortunately killed people accidents in the very rural area, very non-crowded place, and during the red light after the 9 p.m. So there's a couple of things. 9 p.m., rural places, red lights, cars mostly hit the people and unfortunately they die because of that conditions. So they designed one play. If there's somebody other side, you can play as a network, so multiplayer, as a pinball game. You are playing that pinball and try to hit the other side and get the points. If there is nobody in the red light, you are playing against the computer, and the red light sign is off, as you see here. When the red light sign is off, time is up, you're able to go cross the other side. So they reduce the people death in the rural places 95% in between the 2 years. The last thing from Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. I guess you already visited the Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Why? It's a connection hub for Europe to America, and the home place of the KLM airplanes. What do they do in 1973? Also, that has a paper there. In 1973, they investigated that the all men restrooms use 12 cleaning people. They just clean the surfaces and mostly the tails, the ceramic tails on the wall because of the smell. They have 11 cleaning people. What do they find? That they put that tiny fly on the wall of the pissoirs for the men's restroom. So the basically mindset behind the basically mindset which plays the game, and the man try to hit that fly and try to clean that fly with the pee. So this is the optimum angle for the pee, that which there is no scratch, there is no droplets to the outside of the that pissoir, which is drop the smell of NH3, which is ammonium, makes the smell of the pee, and they dropped 5 people instead of 11 people. That is the first paper published by University of Erasmus in 1973. The call is not a gamification, but the behavioral mindset change effects on human power, the title of the paper. So from that point, what we understand that gamification is an approach that solves real life motivational problems by targeting game design techniques and long-term behavioral change in participants. If you're a design thinker, you have to touch the people's motivational buttons. If we can hit them, we are starting our design, or during our design process, we can get their motivation. So we call that era Motivation 3.0 gamification sites. Gabe Zigerman, I highly recommend his website, gamification.co. I'm also going to share that presentation after the session. What he says, I think gamification is probably more like 75% psychology and 25% technology. Don't think that you have to write down very beautiful apps or it's a technologic things. Remember the Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. It is 75% psychology that affects our motivations. In that point, I would like to give a break, but during the break, that is your user type test. It takes around 5 to 7 minutes. Please, dears, write to the Google gamified UK user type test. Please type to the Google. Also, I'm going to share the link now. User type test. There is several languages for you may find. Even you may choose your own language. This is the Turkish version, but please select the flag. It changed the language. We have English, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, German, and Russian, and French. So please fill that test. At the end of the test, you will find one map. Please take the snapshot of that map. After the break, I'm coming to express what does it mean for you and how you can use as a motivational design. So let's meet at 14:25 in my local time. So 25 past your time, we will come together. See you. Yes, time is up, and let's continue to our session. After you filled that user type test years, there is a 6 principles for motivational design of your design thinking. Based on the people's character, which values are affect most, you may find one or two of them will be very high. Actually, when you look at the results, maybe the results very narrow to each other, 19, 19, 20%, but there is a 2 lines. You show philanthropist is your strongest type, and on the second line, you may construct this player. It could be. So the 2 lines will be your motivational side, and don't look to the numbers. Numbers are not expressed very well to understandable. Their logarithm is not good as well, but the first 2 lines is very nice. So we will be the people could be a philanthropist, disruptor, free spirit, achiever, player, and socializer, and 6 of them have major motivators. For instance, if you are a philanthropist, your main motivator is something needs to be purpose. Philanthropist. If you are a free spirit, you seek always autonomy. If you couldn't autonomy, you couldn't get motivated. What about the socializer? The socialized people looks always relatedness. Disruptor people looks for the change, and the players looks always for the reward. And I'm going to share the how to understand tool set, what kind of things will be very helpful to motivate these people. If you understand from the outside, one people is autonomy, the free spirit constraints. So the first thing you have to give always autonomy. Please think that they like easy fun, they like exploration, branching choices. This is a very good example. If one of your friends has free spirit, don't ask or show one thing. Hey, Maria, would you like to go Starbucks? Starbucks is one option. Always show the second option. Starbucks or Gloria Jeans. Starbucks or Third Wave Cafe. Starbucks or restaurant. Always needs to be 2 idea. Branding choices will be very nice. Easter eggs, they like to be get something easily. Creativity tools, ask for creativity then. You may create a wonderful project. Let's think about this one. Free spirit will be freely send it to the moon. Sky is the limit. Go. And customization. Some of the things like my agenda, which the Pfizer gave me, look, maybe you may see that my name is on top of the agenda, and they distributed 800 of the agendas, the plain book, and they give all of them with our names. For me, it's meaningless. Why they put my name on the agenda? So I couldn't give that agenda to others. If I'm not an agenda user, I couldn't give that agenda because there's my writing. Why? They are targeting the free spirit people. Customization. Some of my friends, when they see their name on the agenda, they say, oh, what a lovely, they told me that they customized that agenda for me. Why I didn't motivate it? Because I'm a socializer person. I like people fun. Everybody is connect to each other around me. I am the person always call my friends. Why? I am a socializer person. I like to be in the team. Social network is very important for me. Social status. Some of the things I couldn't share from the Instagram. Why? My network, my social network. What if they see the situation? I afraid from my status quo. Status will be dropped. Social pleasure also is a very good thing. Competition. I hate competition, dear. Why? As a socializer, as a people mind, in the competition, I beat somebody. Socialized people, they don't like being in the competition within the others. They don't want to beat. They don't want to be beaten. So the philanthropists, what I told, the purpose is the home. They like serious fun. Never ever you couldn't see a huge philanthropist people be drunk. They know how to stop the drinking alcohol. Why? Meaning is important. Caretaking is important for them. Getting and sharing the knowledge, gifting, sharing is very important. They really like to share the gifts they collected from others, and they like to give these gifts to others as a gift. You may be surprised, but some people like to, for instance, that Uno you gave to me as a present. And again, this is your New Year present. This Uno, please play with your family members. If I am a socializer, I will be very happy. Why? It's family inside. And also, if I'm a philanthropist, I really love that game. Thank you so much, I'll say. And I can give that Uno, which my beloved game from you. I get it from you as a gift. It's so valuable for me. I can give to other person. Why? It's so valuable for me. I am a philanthropist guy. Gifting is my motivator. Don't think that if it's a philanthropist person, if they gifted a gift to you, don't angry on them, because it's the most valuable thing for him or her. What about the achievers, mastery? The Pfizer is in the very high people in here. Achiever people likes hard fun, challenges. There's the dam of the cities built by achiever people. The Boeing 777 or the Airbus 320 Neo built by achiever people. The going to the Mars, Elon Musk is a one achiever people. They are hard fun, challenge people. They like to levels progression. They like to be boss battles like at the end of the game. Please remember from your elementary school, middle school, while you are playing a computer game, at the end there's a big boss and you want to kill. These people are like these. Don't give them easy task. Give them hard task. And also they like certificates. That is the reason that program has certificate. With only the course webinars, it's so easy. For the Pfizer people doesn't like to watch only webinars. That is the reason I ask for an essay paper. And the next week I am giving the other homework. For the disruptors, there's only 3% of the nations is disruptor, unfortunately. Why? We are killing while they are in the school, before the school age. If you are a disruptor in early ages, you will always show the finger and calm down inside your cocoon, and you will never express yourself and you couldn't do what you want. But at the end, some of the lucky 3% will become as a disruptor. Disruptor lies the innovation platforms. They like to voting. Why? They are only 3%. During the votings, they become to show themselves. They like development tools. Light touch is very important. If you force them a little bit, they'll say goodbye. I am not belongs to you. So disruptive talents today inside the company is a huge problem. If we couldn't find the disruptive talents, they couldn't design the innovation of the Pfizer. They couldn't design the innovation program for the GCO. So something needs to be shake us and says that if our Titanic is going to sink, that this is the person who will say we are sinking. Yes, they sometimes like anarchy. And the players mostly are customer-facing colleagues, our sales organization. They always look for the reward, points, physical rewards, leaderboards, badge, and virtual economy. And they like the lottery. Please look at your people. If they are a gambler, if they like to be lottery things, most probably they are also the player. Even they play lottery, national lottery or not, they will have some player points in their character. They always ask, what we going to earn? At the end of what I will gain? Why I need to do at the end what I should got? That is the question from their side. So also I prepare one periodic table of gamification elements. After the session, I'm going to share a very deep data for each item. So if you are an achiever, or if you have a colleague that achiever, you may understand how to give challenge to him, certificates, learning, quests, levels, boss. I'm going to share good knowledge of the example set. I have the English version, so it's a very good opportunity to share with you. So please look your customer while you are designing something for them. If there is a players, if it is the sales organization, look to here. If there is if you have a one disruptive talent, please use all these elements. After the session, again, you may look to the 47th card. I'll give some explanation of what is innovation platform. And the grades are the general, which applicable for everybody. One of the good thing is Marchinski's. It's a very hard to speak. It's from the Czech. I don't know how it is fought, but it is the flow theorem. Flow theorem. Please check the flow theorem. At the end of the meeting, I'm also going to share the data and the flow, but for your individual development, there's one side is a challenge, low challenge to high challenge, very hard challenge, and the other axis is easy to game, implement, easy to implement, hard to game, hard to implement. So too many challenges, very easy one. So always we have to be inside the flow. What does it mean? If it is very easy, but too much, think that clicking this mouse 100 times a day, it's very easy to implement. Too many challenges, they are not motivate us, they made the anxiety to us. So think that the Candy Crush, all the games, they start very easy to implement, and when you when you pass the levels, they started to increase the hardness, so they put you always inside the flow. So the first thing creates avoidance, unpredictability, they made social pressure, empowerment, scarcity, ownership. How many people in our group now has more than 500 levels in their Candy Crush and still plays 3 years? Too many. So think that if you still playing the first level of your Candy Crush, the easiest level is the simplest level, nobody can continue to live in their game type. This is the same also for our customer facing colleagues, also for our GCO colleagues. If our business wants the very simple things and always the same things, always is asking for updating the same Excel document every day, it makes us anxiety. Huh? Correct? And at the end, if it is too hard to final, if there's a very widened project which takes 9 months and it is very lowly likelihood it gives us boredom, most probably we quit from that project. Oh, too complicated, we couldn't even go one more step. But the half of the things, we don't like very easy games. We like a little bit medium to high games, high challenges on the right, makes us instinct motivation. So this is a flow theorem. It will be very good for yourself. The last thing from Stanford University, what kind of things you have to prepare for your customers and for yourself? There's the motivation goes up when the abilities goes to easy to action. So one trigger, one topic, one initiative, when you put into place, if it is very hard, and if you're able to create this thing, which gives you like here very high of motivation. If it is too weak, too easy, the motivation level will be very low. So we have to keep the trigger between that curve? Come on, it is so complicated. Let me explain with other words. In our region, I found that in Serbia, in Romania, in Poland, I don't know how it is in Russia, but this is the sunflower seeds. We love to chit 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 and eat that seeds. Okay, during the summer, the best thing with a tea or coffee or cola, eating sunflower seeds. It's a very well-known thing in our region. Have you ever tasted this before? Yes, Marco. In Serbia, it's perfect. I know. Of course, dears. Today, our income level is enough to buy that one, which is plain sunflower seeds without any core, only the core, no cocoons. So this is around $1 per kilogram, and this is around $2 per kilogram. We can afford this today. Maybe 20 years ago it is very expensive, but today we can afford. But we don't buy and eat this one during the evenings, like one punch of the sunflower cores. No, we prefer this one. And also, we don't prefer that sunflower seeds. This is almost maybe 0.25 cents. We don't like to buy, but already we tasted it before. Yes, as a childhood, when I would go to the village, I could eat directly from the sunflower head these cores. It is too hard. Even it's so soft, you couldn't feel the sounds. This is perfect. Even 200 grams you can eat in one evening. So this is the optimum inside the flow. So when I return back to here, the triggers in that case is the core sunflower seeds. Seeds are the triggers, and it's in the optimum place. Not too high, not is low motivated. Okay, so the only core is in here. That is very easy to action, and the motivation level is very high. This is so high motivation, but it is really hard to ability. You have to go villages, you have to collect sunflower heads, you have to cook them, you have to one by one pull off the seeds inside the head. So we are always trying to that place. Behavior, customer behavior means motivation, ability, and trigger. So you have to think three of them while you are designing your process. What motivates my customer? Are they able to do this one? And what is my trigger? What kind of terms for the ability? This is the example from sunflower seeds, one pack of sunflower seeds, lovely one. And also, if you're a smoker, your normally daily smoking needs is around 12 to 14 sticks. Why there is a 20 sticks? It could depends on country, 19 to 21, a little bit changed because of taxation systems. But why there is a 20 of them? If they put 40 of them, you may smoke 14 and stop. 20 is the amount of your motivation. Says I am smoking one pack a day, which you can slightly increase your 14, 15 sticks to 20. It could be, but you couldn't increase it to 40. 40 is really hard to smoke. It's not usually common. And if we do the packs for 14, you will still smoke one pack a day, 14 cigarettes. The last thing is for our mobile phones. We don't use Windows Phone on others. Some of you like Android, some of you like iOS. Why? The easy to action. Some of the computer geeks using iPhone, they say, oh, it's so easy. I don't like. I prefer Android devices. Why they tell like this? Because of their trigger. here. It is the motivation of using iPhone for them here. Sorry. Here. They prefer more motivation for hard to use. This is Android for them. This is iOS. It's easy. They don't motivate them. What happens to us? We couldn't even trigger it from the Android mobile phone. We say that the hook principle at the end, when we design our process externally, external motivators, they have to get in the action. So maybe they're going to download our app, or they are coming to 5 sessions of this design thinking process, the first session. Okay, so this is our first session. So what I give the variable reward, it is the 5 times of my time, and the investment will be the certificate program. We will pay around some dollars, and it comes to create the new ideas for you. So after this section, you will internally get motivated from our design thinking. Maybe in the next time, you will do the same training with others, or you may implement the things in your life. Also, it could be happen too. Again, this is the hook theorem. In other terms, it's the boundless, never-end process. So what we want to do, trigger of our customer-facing colleagues, we are giving some KPIs, so they get in the action. At the end of the 3 months, their salary is up, and they put that salary to their personal development. The new trigger arrives, so it becomes always the hook. That is the reason you play 500 stage in Candy Crush, or maybe you are every day come into the Instagram. What is the Instagram situation? The trigger is the notification. One picture like from your friend. So what is your action? Going enter your Instagram account, checking, this is your action, checking who liked your picture, and it triggered you to put new picture. That new picture gives another notification. It makes another action, reward. So it is endless. That is the reason we are not bored from Instagram. Still always the same things. Somebody is driving car, some of them eating food, and some people are kissing each other. Always the same, but every day we spend at least 2 hours on Instagram. The last thing before we end, we say the motivation, the energy for action. You may create 6 different motivation increase things, that seeking and avoiding, the 2. Actually, these are three main emotions for the people. Seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. Seeking pleasure. You may say that this is the best food in our city, seeking pleasure, or avoiding pain, maybe the cream, Felden gel. Felden gel is avoiding pain product. Seeking hope, oncology. Avoiding fear, Zerjans. Seeking acceptance, being Pfizer employee. Avoiding rejection is DNI, diversity and inclusion. So Pfizer do all 6 of them in our daily life. These are the Stanford University paper from Dr. B.J. Falk. So you may choose in your design which is your motivation increase strategy. Some examples for the hope, seeking hope. Obama used that hope. Also nowadays we are using hope to increase your life motivation. Hey dears, in couple months the good days will become, and we will have perfect summer season. This COVID will be down in couple weeks. This is hope, dears, so to increase your motivation. Or avoiding fear. I won't wear a helmet. It makes me look stupid. Who seems stupid? So he paralyzed. Now his mom is feeding him. So who is looks more stupid? Wearing cask, wearing helmet, or without wearing helmet, staying paralyzed? Zaljans do the same thing. Artif- artificially I could, but it covers that. Seeking acceptance under Budweiser, dears. Under Budweiser, what is the Budweiser use? This in this is. This is CEO. This guy is CEO. This is the security officer. This is the worker. But under the Budweiser, they drink all same beer. This is acceptance. If you good to make it form, and habit is formed for our business units. As a GCO, we have to continue what we are doing at particular of time. It depends on the situation, but you may know the 21 days. In our religion is 40 days. If you keep something to do 40 days, it will be your habit. It is scientifically approved that after 12 days or times, the habit is start. So the first 12 gym will be painful. After 12, it becomes your habit for the lifelong. The last thing for the Jane McGonigal, the future of the game, the future of the work is game. So that is from my side for today. The motivation 3.0 we finished because of the design thinking. For the next week, if you want to join our motivation program, I'll give some extra details, which this is GCO only session there. The other one is we opened all the markets in GCO Eastern Europe cluster. So around 100 people. I mostly do and show the same things with little bit more detailed information, which I hide some slides. So if you come, more than welcome, but you don't need to come the next week. That is the all coverage. So the next week we are coming with the SWOT, SMART, STAR, and TOWS analysis, which we are going to start design thinking process for individual plans. Please, your not homework, please recap the session, look at your values. I'm going to share an email with you. So inside that email, you may find that value list. Please practice it with your relatives. If you are alone inside the home today, there is a WebEx option. Call your WebEx friend, send the document, ask for choose 12 of them. Just discuss within each other to why practice makes perfect. So just identify your core values with yours and your friends, your family members, your relatives. Then please think about the things I'm going to share for periodic table of the gamification elements, and keep it yourself safe. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week. Any questions, I'm ready to answer. Otherwise, goodbye.